In this video, we will be looking at how you can effectively use the built-in briefcase functionality of InnoCielo. There are two types of briefcases that we will be dealing with in this tutorial: InnoCielo's own proprietary briefcase format and the more advanced open format briefcase. It is assumed that you have a basic understanding of how InnoCielo works. Let's start with the proprietary format. The first thing that needs to be done is to select the document or documents that you would like to add to a briefcase. Here we have selected a couple of documents. With these documents selected, we select the Document menu and then Add to Briefcase. We are now presented with the Select Briefcase dialog. Let's take a moment to cover the available options of this dialog. Across the top are 4 buttons. The first button allows you to create a new briefcase. Note the small downward pointing arrow next to the icon of this button. This indicates a submenu. If you look closely, you can see that the button actually has a divider. When pressing the button on the left side of the divider as we show here, the default briefcase template is used. If we click on the right side of the divider now, a submenu is shown, and we are able to select which template we would like to use for the creation of the briefcase. Next, we have a button that allows you to open existing briefcase files. As with the New Briefcase button, the Open button also has a submenu, allowing you to choose which kind of briefcase you would like to open. This simply defines which file extension is used for the standard Windows Open dialog. Second last button is used for deleting unwanted briefcase files. The final button is used to show the properties of the selected briefcase file. You can see the size, comments, and template used to create the briefcase. You can also add a password to the briefcase if you need to secure the information in the briefcase. Just under this toolbar is the list of briefcase files that can be selected. For this demonstration, we will create a new briefcase and use a subcontractor template. Once the template has been chosen, you have to give the briefcase file a name and location. In some cases, this step may be configured for you and will be taken care of automatically. Now that we have chosen a name and file location for our briefcase, we have to decide how the documents are to be added to the briefcase. There are 2 sections to the dialog that must be dealt with. Firstly, you will need to choose the action. You can choose between Check out current version. This will result in the documents being locked in the vault. Just include current version. The current version will be copied to the briefcase but will not be locked in the vault. And just include last released version. The last released version of the document will be placed in the briefcase. Here we have chosen to include only the last released version. If you are working with documents that have references, you can also control what happens to those reference documents. The available options are Include CAD references. This will include any documents that are referenced by the built-in reference types. You can also choose to include any drawing and presentation files. Include custom references. If custom reference types have been defined for your vault, selecting this option will also include reference documents with custom references. And also check out reference documents. In our case, this option is grayed out because we are only including documents in the briefcase. Should we select the option Check out current version under the Action section of this dialog, then this option will become available. Basically, reference documents are also checked out and locked in the vault. When we press OK, the briefcase will be created and the briefcase itself will be opened, showing you the contents. You can now ensure that the correct documents have been added. Now we will basically follow the same steps as before, but this time we will be creating a briefcase based on the zip file format. As you can see, we select the zip briefcase template. Once again, we will only include the latest released version of the selected documents. There is one final step to be completed before you can continue to create the zip file. We would like to keep the documents secure from unauthorized users. To achieve this, we will enter a password for the zip file. If we select the second icon from the left, the Briefcase Properties button, we are shown the Properties dialog for the briefcase we are creating. In the middle of the dialog is a text field in which we can enter a password. Here we type the word test. Notice that the actual letters are protected from view, the same as any password entry field in Windows. With that done, you can do one of two things. Firstly, you can press the Close button, which will create the zip file. Secondly, you can press the Archive Briefcase button, which is located second from the right. Now the zip file has been created and is ready to be sent off to a third party. Now that you understand how to create briefcases, let's have a look at some of the other features available when working with briefcases. From the Vault menu, we will select the View Briefcase command. This opens a dialog showing all the briefcases that are found on your client machine. Here we select the desired briefcase and press the Select button. If the selected briefcase is password protected, you will be asked to enter the password at this point. Now with the briefcase open, let us have a look at the available commands on the toolbar. The first button will take you back to the briefcase selection dialog. Next is the Briefcase Properties button. You can change the password or add comments from this dialog. Moving along, we come to the Add Documents button. This allows you to add new documents to the selected briefcase without having to create a new briefcase, for instance. Next is the Delete button. You can simply remove documents from a briefcase if need be. The next section of buttons can be used for various viewing and property information of the contained documents. First up is the View button. This will open a viewer window to show the selected document. Next is the Compare button. Pressing this button will open a comparison window showing the document in the vault and the document in the briefcase. This can be useful to see the changes made when you receive a briefcase from a third party, for instance. Now we come to the document properties as they stand in the vault. Pressing this button will show the default property window for the selected document. The properties are, however, read-only and cannot be edited. The final button in this section of the toolbar is the Document Fields button. Briefcases can be configured to also include properties and values from the vault. With this button, you can view the properties and values that have been included for this particular briefcase. The final section of the toolbar contains another 4 buttons. The first one is used to update the contents of the briefcase with the information from the vault. The second button is used to generate a transmittal report for the briefcase. Note that this needs to be configured for your vault to be enabled. The third button is used to create the zip, as we have already seen previously in this video. The final button on this toolbar is used to send a briefcase by email. Pressing it will launch your default email application and create a new email message with the briefcase file as an attachment. Finally, on this dialog, you also have the Go To button. With the document selected in the briefcase, pressing this button will navigate to the document in the Power User client. This has been an overview of the basic features of briefcases in InnoCielo. More information on using briefcase functionality can be found in the provided documentation. Thanks for watching.